The lack of emotion couldn't even help them choose a sandwich. Like, do I want an avocado sandwich or do I want a cheese grill sandwich? They couldn't make any decisions. And he immediately understood that without emotions, we cannot make decisions. So I'll show you a very easy flowchart. Emotions affect decisions, and decisions affect conversions because they're going to decide if they're going to buy from you or not. And of course, conversions affect revenue. So I don't know, maybe you've heard this all before. Maybe you know the theory. You've watched all the videos. You've listened to all the psychologists. And yet you are still creating the same kind of landing pages that I showed you before because you don't have the tactics and the strategies so you can utilize emotion, so you can understand it. So all my presentation today is going to focus on exactly this, how to understand those emotions to affect people's decisions. And ultimately, what I want to say is that no matter what you're selling, what people really, really care about isn't the what, it's the why they should buy from you. And that's going back to what we said at the beginning. Now, I just want to give a quick shout out to B2B businesses because almost every single time I bring up emotion and the need to wield it in all aspects of your buyer's journey, I get a pushback that people say, yeah, I get it with e-commerce, like I get it with B2C, but B2B products don't need emotion. People buy them solely based on logic and rationality, right? Well, imagine that you are a marketer at a large company and you've been tasked with moving your email marketing from your current provider to a brand new one. What kind of thoughts would you have in your mind, like would go through your mind right now? Maybe what if the subscribers info doesn't transfer over properly? What if no one on the team likes the product and it just fails? What if this new option isn't good as another one? What if everyone blames you for the failure of it? And so on and so on. There are so many different barriers and so many different thoughts that go through your head because when you're buying for yourself, you just have to kind of own up to yourself and your own mistakes and maybe your significant other. But when you're buying for a product, when you're choosing for a business, there's so many added layers of emotion in there that have nothing to do with just you. So I think it's safe to say that no matter what you're selling, emotions play a huge part in the decision to say yes or no to your solution. And I'll show you an example. A while ago, a client of mine turned to me and said, listen, we need to increase conversion rates. We need to get more people to sign up to our SaaS product that helps them create infographics and presentations. And I said to them, cool. Tell me, what have you tried so far? So they've tried reducing load time and adding an exit pop-up and changing the colors of the call to action button and removing steps in the funnel and changing headlines, but they got no results. And why does this happen? Because they're essentially doing what every single person does when it comes to conversion optimization. They're changing elements on the page. They're essentially taking the control, duplicating it, or taking the existing page that you have and duplicating it and changing one little element about it. But then you basically get no results, or if you do get results, they're not really scalable, right? And that's because conversion optimization isn't about changing elements on the page. It's about solving people's problems. It's about understanding who these people are behind the screen, what their motivations are, what their intent is, what are their desired outcomes, and then putting those on the page. Now, when you look at their landing page, you will see that they're making a lot of the mistakes that we've already talked about. Their headline is about the product. Their bullet points are about features and benefits. And their main hero image is a video of literally how to use the product, a drag and drop video. Everything here is about the product. So this isn't going to help them increase conversions. And it doesn't matter how many calls to action they change, they need to go deeper. And this is where the emotional targeting methodology comes in. So I built this years and years and years ago, and when conversion optimization was just getting started, and I still had to convince people that it was worth investing in. And I used to run hundreds of tests for clients and never get the results that I wanted because I really did focus on changing elements on the page. Until I understood what I just taught you, that emotions play a key factor in conversions. And that's when we identified 223 different emotions that could impact your prospect's decision, whether they choose you or not. And so in order to increase conversions, the most important thing is you have to know core information about your customer. You have to go beyond age, geographical location, the browser that they're using, and their gender. You have to know a lot more. You need to know, what pain does my customer feel before finding a solution? You need to know what are the emotional triggers that drive their decision-making process. You need to know what their hesitations and concerns are, their roadblocks. And ultimately, you have to know, how do they want to feel after finding the solution? Now, if you know the answers to these questions, you will know exactly what copy to include, what design to include, what colors to use, what images to use, the wireframe, everything will fall into place. You'll be able to look at the page and say, I know what to change. All of this doesn't resonate with anything that I know about my customer, and we actually need to say this. And that is where the power comes in, the emotional power. So today I'm going to show you how to leverage 3 proven steps and tactics to leverage emotion to increase conversions.